Hello, class. My name is RBrock, and I will be discussing the Green Book Research Industry Trends Report for this week's discussion. The agenda for this presentation is as follows. We'll start off with the trend-inspired skills, talk about the emerging approaches, talk about the trend-inspired challenges, discuss the challenge transformation into an opportunity, and then I will discuss how I will utilize the grit for my MRP. Lastly, I'll open the floor for any questions you may have. Let us begin with the trend-inspired skills that are demanded of market researchers. As with most things in the commercial sector, organizations are continuously adapting their operations and products to resemble their current consumer demands. The reason behind this could be a result of various factors such as political views, social status, demographics, and etc. Nevertheless, the challenges market researchers face is all but simplistic. Now, even though some tools have innovated the ways to collect data, there are still particular skills needed to be productive. In the pool of skills, I found 3 to be very important for my MRP, which is the strong analytical skills, being a star communicator, and having a mind of a scientist. So I'm going to first talk about the analytical skills. It could probably go without saying that taking raw data and converting it into meaningful content can become a complicated task quite quickly. Therefore, a researcher needs to have a clear understanding of the data and the objective the company is trying to accomplish to narrow down vital information and translate it so they can understand. The next skill that pertains to my MRP would be star communication. Regardless of the form it is in, such as written or verbal, it is just as important to have strong analytical skills as it is to communicate them. Furthermore, as I previously mentioned, the researcher is expected to translate their findings in such a way that the audience understands. I personally encountered communication barriers in my current profession when different competencies are in a meeting together. For example, if engineers are talking about a PaaS, a financial person may not know that the PaaS stands for Platform as a Service, which still affects financial aspects. Therefore, the researcher needs to adapt their translations to their audience. For the last trend-inspired skill, I found beneficial for my MRP is thinking like a scientist. However, I do want to say that being a scientist and thinking like a scientist are two different things. Long story short, one person is in the exact position and the other is merely adopting the methodology such as observations, creating a hypothesis, establishing a prediction, and then testing the theory with raw data. By doing this, the market researcher accumulates stronger and validated content. Now let us discuss the emerging approaches to market research. Similar to the previous slide, new and redefined approaches are continuously emerging to remain abreast of market shifts. Some of the most notable strategies that I personally found interesting was big data, artificial intelligence, and automations. While some may argue that big data has been around for some time now, new tools have been developed to assist researchers and like individuals with analyzing large amounts of information in record time compared to previous methods. Furthermore, with the aid of such tools, more data can be obtained, making the findings more accurate. The next emerging approach that caught my eye was artificial intelligence, also known as AI. Even when AI was just a concept, the possibilities that were anticipated seemed endless. I remember movies even portraying scenarios where artificial intelligence is so sophisticated that it outsmarted human beings. Nevertheless, for researchers, having a machine or software that articulates open-ended or unstructured data sets and can make the decision, as well as increases learning every time it conducts the process, could save researchers a substantial amount of time and effort. Additionally, it also has a high probability of decreasing turnaround time while not compromising accuracy. Which brings me to automation. I have personally heard people interchange artificial intelligence and automation when talking about the capabilities of specific software. Now, whether they were unsure of the skills between the two or generally thought that they are synonyms, I'm not sure. But while there is a lot of overlap, the two are actually different. As a recap, artificial intelligence can learn as it goes, as well as make decisions based on merit. Automation, on the other hand, still decreases the turnaround time for data, but is limited by instructions the end user designates. Nevertheless, I still see it as an excellent alternative to AI technology if it is too complex to set up or expensive. In this slide, I'll discuss a few trend-inspired challenges on the horizon of the market and industry. Referring to my statement about market shifts and the role it plays within an organization, it is essential to know that innovation itself is a revolving door. As soon as you're integrating one, another could come in to replace it. In fact, trend-inspired challenges are the same. Some examples of these are expedited innovations, providing value, and competition. First, expedited innovations. Technology has seen continuous advancements over the past decade, with new products and methodologies appearing just about overnight. Hence, my statement about the revolving door of innovations. As a result of the rapid push for advancements, it has made it hard for companies to leverage the new products within their operations. Another challenge is providing value. In retrospect, consumers' needs have always been a vital component of an organization's operations. Considering this, it is critical that the products or services provided align with the consumer's needs. However, you cannot give them something that you don't know what they want. Now add the matter of consumer needs changing almost as rapidly as technology innovations, and the fact that people value different things to the mix, then you would understand the challenges associated with providing the customers with what they value. Now let me discuss the competition. Competition comes in many shapes and sizes, thanks to technology. So no longer does a company only have to worry about another company coming in and taking their consumers. They also have to worry about platforms such as YouTube that allows people to do it-yourself projects. That essentially affects the consumer buying behavior within an analysis. Now let us discuss transforming a challenge into an opportunity. Throughout the challenges a company and a researcher may face, some of the issues can be transformed into an opportunity, as this slide suggests. Look at providing value, for example. While yes, it may become challenging to meet every consumer's demands, technology alone has created an array of venues for researchers to pull data, such as SurveyMonkey, Focus Vision, and even Facebook. With these tools, a researcher can consolidate the information and appeal to the most common needs of consumers. Within an article I read on grit, it suggests that instead of seeing the addressing of consumer needs as a hurdle, to embrace its existence instead. Furthermore, it also suggests that utilizing the companies behind the seamless innovations to your advantage will be very beneficial. For instance, companies such as Google, Facebook, allow access to consumers, which is like traditional market research in companies, plus the benefits of a partnership. Now let me explain how I will utilize the grit for my MRP. Based on the substantial information that the Green Book Research Industry Trends has, the value it will play within my MRP will be significant. Overall, there is much I can say about the GRIT report, but y'all are not here for me to read you a Harry Potter novel, now are we? Nevertheless, I would like to point out some things that I personally found helpful and how I will integrate it within my proposal. In particular, I found 3 that were very useful for me, which is the recommendations, guidance, and transforming challenges into opportunities. As you have constantly heard me say throughout the past few weeks, I'm a novice when it comes to marketing and research, so I need every bit of help I can get. Therefore, I'll utilize the blogs within the GRIT for recommendations on how to approach demanding sectors of my MRP. The next helpful thing that the GRIT will provide me is guidance, which leads me into using the GRIT report as a guide. In addition to the MRP syllabus, I want to ensure I am only discussing essential information and pinpointing key factors within my proposal. When I was in high school, I used to question why we were required to learn history. Well, after maturing and being fully immersed into the working sector, I quickly realized why we learn history. In a nutshell, it is an attempt to avoid making the same mistakes as in the past. Well, the GRIT is just like that, in which we acquire information from professionals to avoid past mistakes and implement the best practices to guide us in the MRP. The last key takeaway I would like to mention is transforming challenges into opportunities. This also corresponds with the guidance aspect, in which it is to avoid mistakes. However, avoiding the failures of past researchers is not enough to convert a challenge into a beneficial opportunity for an organization. Because of this, I will see how the professionals have gone about reversing the issues that I will encounter within my own proposal. And now this concludes my presentation, and I'll open the floor for any questions in which I would provide an answer to, or any feedback that you would like to provide me. Thank you for your time and have a nice day.